Assalamualaikum again. We have another lecture from a renowned person, Professor Sarfaraz Wani. He was a HOD in the division of LPT for about 25 years. Then he got promoted to Dean Faculty of Veterinary Science for 5 years. Then controller examination for 2 years. Then Director Research for more than 2 years. He recently superannuated from his services on 31st of March 2023. He has a huge experience in Pashmina processing, being from since 1986. He did his master's thesis on Pashmina. Then he had a few externally funded projects from ICR, one in 2001 to 2003, another mega project on Pashmina processing, production and processing as well as production use हमने किया था from 2009 to 2014, another project 2013 to 2018, another project 2014 to 2018, 4-5 projects. He has been involved with number of उसमें हमने पश्मीना प्रोसेसिंग और पश्मीना प्रोडक्शन के बारे में हमने DPRs बना दिए थे, and but unfortunately those could not mature. So the lecture assigned to him is Pashmina, where he will cover the processing brief, then valuation, and what are the innovations which we have done in SKUAST-K, and what is the contribution of SKUAST-K in Pashmina processing and marketing. I invite Dr. Sarfaraz to start his lecture.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. As informed by Dr.Asif, my colleague, friend, I have been given an assignment about Pashmina. Maybe you have gone through it and you are all aware of it. Although this lecture, what I am reading today, should have been the first lecture because that will start the process. And you might have gone through many of the lectures, many part of this. We will briefly discuss Pashmina, and then we will also discuss what Gupta ji was telling about in the textile fibers. When any mankind, when the civilization started, the mankind needs three basic things. One is shelter, food, and clothing. As civilization started, he started getting more and more involved towards his cloth. Previously, he was using the animal skins for his clothing, for his covering his body. Then, as civilization started, people started getting something to wear accordingly. And the first thing which a human being has started is the animal fibers. Not only animal fiber, it's animal skin first. When human civilization started, he first started wearing human skin as such. Then as civilization started, they started what there is something extra, we can process it. Then finally, now we have so many things, diversified clothing materials. If we want to distribute them, they are basically of two things, either in the natural or synthetic. Synthetic is mostly from petroleum-based products, which is a subsidy of petrol, which comes during petrol processing. Rather, some subsidy we have polypropylenes, we have olefins. They are all subsidies of petroleum-based products. And anything, the best out of is animal natural fibers. Among the natural fibers, we have three things. One is plant-based, which we are using cotton, jute, coir, all of the things. That's grown on the nature. Then we have mineral-based asbestos, that is also used as textile materials. Then the most common is animal fibers. Among the animal fibers, we have two major things. One is wool, which is the major part. Another is we are calling specialty hair fibers. If we overall see the contribution of all these textiles, at time the natural fibers were contributing maximum. Now, because petrol-based production started coming up, and as soon as this starts coming up, the contribution is going more towards synthetics. That's why we have at present 52%. But what are the associated problems with using these synthetic fibers? The most common associated problem is human allergy. All these synthetic products have one way or other way allergy to human. Many people get allergy to their skin. Some people get skin allergy. Some people get body allergies. But there is something. It's not truly eco-friendly in the sense of human body reactions. All natural fibers are true, and they have very rightly they match with our own body ecosystem. With the result, we don't get majority of the animal fibers do not get any. 99% does not get any allergy from any natural fibers. And coming to this animal fibers, as I told, there are two things. One is wool, which is major part, and another specialty hair fiber. Why we call them specialty fibers? Because these special fibers are those fibers which are grown in a very small quantity. They have specific characteristics which makes them special. It is not normal characters. They have differentiate with the wool. With the result, they are slightly different and they are costly. With the result, their production is less, so they are costly. But there is a demand is high for these things. Among them, we have camel fiber, yak fiber, Pashmina, which is major part of the specialty fibers, Angora rabbit, Shathos, which is band, mohair, and there are many other. We have vacuna, llama, then you have alpaca. There are so many other specialty hair fibers associated with this. Now, since we are associated with the Pashmina, let us first define what is the Pashmina as per the US standards, what is as per the BI standards. As per US standards, it's any fiber which is produced from the goat fiber. It's very essential. It is to be from the goat fiber. And Kashmiri goats, which is called Capra hericus indicus. The technical name of Kashmiri goats is Capra hericus indicus. Here they have limited that it should be less than 19 microns. Our Indian has restricted to less than 16 microns and cannot contain more than 3% of the guard here. Indian says same thing, but it should be less than 16 microns. Because why US people go to 19 microns? Because in Australia they produce down fibers. Mostly down fibers, which they are referred as down fibers. They are also called in the Kashmiri. They are from the goat breeds. They have inheritance from same. If you see inheritance of those breeds, they are from same Capra hericus indicus. That means there is a report that at times of British, some people have migrated some Pashmina goats from Leh to Spain, Australia. They have transported it, and they are crossbreds and other things. They have maintained their other down fibers. This not only from India, China is also producing this fibers. Why all you know, it's known for its fineness, warmth, softness, desirable aesthetic characters, elegance, lightness, handle, ability to absorb dyes, and utilized for development of aesthetic products like knitwears, wovens also. Pashmina shawls achieved a royal status everywhere you go. Previously also, as world over also, people use it to give the best gift. They use it to give Maharajas as a Pashmina shawl. Pashmina industry is an export-oriented industry which has its own. Now we have given a GI also. We have got Kashmir handmade Pashmina. See the morphological structure of these fibers. It has a cuticle, cortex, and medulla. It's a general all animal fibers. If you see the general cortical structure, this is a cuticle. This is outer scale structures, cuticle. This is inner medulla, cortex, and this is our medulla. In fine fiber, these medullas are absent. One coming to the differentiate between, this is the basic difference between where Pashmina and animal wool fibers are different. The basic characters here we have to understand. Here we have there are three types of scale cells in this: ortho cells, meso cells, and paracortical cells. These are three types of cortical cells which make this medulla, this cortex, the base of fiber. Actually, scale is outer covering, just like we have scales in the case of fish. You have scales that gives only you finish or smoothness, but the base structure is cortex. Here actually is the difference. In wool, we have ortho surrounded by ortho and para in a we can say in an overlapping ratio. If we have a ortho here, para will go this way, ortho here, para will go this way. That makes the fiber as a crimpiness. Crimpiness is because of the para structures. Ortho is here, it is covered by para, then ortho para. In the outer scale, if you have wool scale, ortho, then if you say secondly para, then ortho para. But in case of Pashmina, we don't have para. That is which is a fragile fiber. We have a mesostructure that is between ortho and para. That is very fragile fibers. If you apply anything to the any mechanical force, that meso gets damaged. That's why it very critically you have to understand why we don't advocate for doing machine processing for Pashmina. Because that here is a meso. Meso gets immediately damaged if you process it, if you apply any chemical there. Difference is that only. See here, you have compared the quality parameters between wool and Pashmina fibers. It's a single coat. Pashmina have normally they are double coat. The Pashmina fiber, they have inner coat which is coming downside and outer coat which gives protection to the inner coat. That's the guard here. Crimp we don't have in Pashmina. Surface rough handle is a smooth handle because you don't have para. That's why I made it. If you don't have para, you will not have you have a very smooth structures. Diameter is there. Scales almost if you say fine Pashmina wool and they have almost similar type of scale, but there is a longitudinal difference. Scales are there. Number of scale variation is there. This is one of the characteristics for identification. Pashmina wool is number of scale characteristics. How many scales are there? That's one of the physical methods of differentiation between wool and Pashmina. Now, here when I say that this is the basic difference between wool and Pashmina. The same thing if you go for, compare with the rabbit wool. Rabbit or Angora wool. There it is ortho, this Angora goat here. There is ortho is surrounded by para. There you have straight fibers. If you see Angora rabbit or goats, they are very straight fibers. They don't have any crimp, anything. They are more tough because they have fully covered a paracortical structure. That's why you cannot use Angora goat hairs for clothing. They normally use for holistic purpose, drapings and other purposes. Now coming to the general process of, if you have any questions after this, you can stop. We can stop and have clarification.
Sir, in the definition of this Pashmina, BIS and that international definition, you spoke about that we have up to 3% of guard hairs can be accommodated in that. So earlier, sir was telling that they are on the basis of that.
No, it is not guard hair. It is actually guard hair. There they were.
Coarse fibers.
Coarse fiber 3% is permitted everywhere. But what they are doing, they take if you have more number of small fiber guard hairs, which are mostly proteinate related to shatus, because there is a lot of difference between guard hair of Pashmina and shatus. They have
Pashmina is permitted,
not of shatus. Shatus has what adulteration is done. They add. Last time I was discussing with them. There is some demand somewhere. They add shatus guard hair, or it is incrementally somewhere added, or sometimes they just feel more number of guard hairs is there. They catch hold of it. If you see within 3%, normally if you see 3%, even if you use your own shawls in the home, they have 3%. But when you that 3% is not visible. When visibility comes above 5%, whenever any visible guard hair will be only possible when the content of guard hair is more than 5%, then only visibility you can see the guard hairs there. Even if sometimes more in some fabrics, that gives them suspicious. Otherwise, if it is within 3%, that 3% क्या हो गया? आपको 3,000 इसमें 4,000 आपके अगर देखेंगे कितने फाइबर्स लगते हैं एक शाल में आपको you will have about 1 lakh फाइबर्स में एक 300 फाइबर्स होंगे तो वो कहाँ निकलेंगे?
मुझे कंफ्यूजन हुआ था कि
he had a question regarding the guard hairs of shatus and Pashmina. It is different thing. Shatus, we are talking about Pashmina. Pashmina में we have 3% allowed, available, 3% guard hairs allowed. But he was talking, SK Gupta was talking about the guardian of the shaft. That in shawl, Pashmina shawl, in Pashmina shawl.
Any stage, any consignment they seize, if they seize, find guard here of Shatos,
they have the
Because of
expertise.
their wildlife concern.
Yeah, it's simply
They
because
have
of,
the
it's an
expertise.
International Wildlife Act.
They have, sir, they have their expertise. Once they see a shawl with their naked eyes, they could see this guard here is of Shahtosh and this guard here is of Pashmina. They have their expertise. And then they pick those fibers, see and examine under the microscope, and they reach to the conclusion that this is a guard here of the Shahtosh, because there is a clear demarcation between the Shahtosh of guard here and Shahtosh. Sorry, guard here of Shahtosh and guard here of Pashmina. Okay, sir, continue.
Any other questions somebody has from audience? Now coming to the processing of Pashmina, as you know, we have a different protocol of Pashmina processing. This what I have given the general protocol. This is the old traditional protocol system, wherein they harvest, manual harvesting, then dehairing, they use it to do manual dehairing, combing, seasoning. Very critical part of Pashmina processing is seasoning also. If you do not season it, give it a moist feel, you will not get a good quality yarn also. Then they make it a small amount of tough stuff with them, spinning, yarn, doubling. Just I have photographic presentation of these things also. You can see. This is the traditional method. This I have recorded way back in '88. These diagrams are very old diagrams, and you can see. I think this 4th and 8th lady, I don't know whether she is live also. Padshah Begum is a very famous lady who used to be there. Yeah, he is a very. She is not. She had might expired a lot. She was a very famous lady who used to be this Pashmina spinners. Khadi mein she was the leader for them, and she used to take. She had lot many people for spinning and Pashmina, working together. Very noble lady. This is the traditional harvesting process. How they are doing. They are doing with combs. Normally, their attempts were also tried to do shearing by shearing machines. But the problem with shearing machines that we have reported, we have found that when we shear with the shearing machine, the skin gets exposed to the sun. When the skin gets directly exposed to the sun, the number of the quality as well as the production next year gets almost half. That's why we did not advocate them to go. We tried, we did experimentation in some of the samples. We did harvesting with the shearing machine, hand shearing machine, but that was not found suitable. Because in that extent that what do? You directly expose this fiber, this follicle to sun. Here, and 2 persons normally hold it, take hold of one this sheep. One person handles his head. Another person normally uses combs. These are the combs we are using on the left side. You can see these are the combs. Then this is dehairing, traditional methods. But problem was there. Now almost this practice is stopped. Nowhere it is being done because mechanization has come. That is not causing so much damage. But mechanization has come. Nobody is doing this type of tradition. Now this is the general practice of dehairing now. We have compared the quality of manual dehairing with the machine dehairing also. You can see although fiber diameter does not have much change, length gets damaged when we go for. That's why previous old which were dehaired by manual dehairing, they had much better quality. But you cannot compromise in everywhere things. Wherein we can compare, we should do it. Here, now we cannot do. Nobody is ready to go for manual dehairing. Now we have to accept that we have to go for machine dehairing. Although new practice of dehairing has come, in Australia I have seen they are using blow air method. Here we are using 2 cords. This is the 2 to 3 cords what we are seeing on this side. Yeah, here you can see this is a cord. These are two rollers, 1, 2, and 3 rollers. The fiber moves through them, it pulls one against them and separates. Like these guard hairs are very light fibers, they get entangled in this upper roller. With the result, they get separated and then move on next fine fiber moves on. But the Australia, what they have developed, I think Leh is also getting that only if they have. I visited them, but they did not specify me whether they are using there. Here, there, the same roll is like this. They have only fine rollers. This type of rollers. No, thick rollers are there. They move it. Then a current of air flows over it. It's a closed chamber like this from one side to other side. A current of hot air is blown from one side to other side. With the result, the hot air blows the guard hairs up. When it moves through the plate of cards, simple cards, very small cards, it moves slowly. The hot air is blown around it. That goes upside and is removed through a dust. There is a blow pump that removes the guard hair. And accuracy is 99.1% there. That's much more accurate than there. Damage is least. Fiber does not get damaged. Then the accuracy of getting fine fiber. Here, even if whatever method you do, you will have 5% guard here because that gets removed during spinning then. But there, minimum 5% is always there in dehydrated fiber. But there they say, I have seen that 99.1%. They get almost zero guard hairs there. This is still practicing and paralyzation is must. Although in nowadays if we do good dehairing, not necessary. Then this is gluing. They add normally wheat this rice flour. Wet rice flour is soaked on the Pashmina fibers overnight. Then only next day start spinning. This is traditional spinning methods. Done, followed by gluing. This I told rice is used for it. Then spinning, doubling. This I told you. Then there is a basic spinning methodology for Pashmina. There are 4 methodologies which are adopted nowadays. Takli is the one which is used by the Ladakhi people and Himachal people also. They use traditional taklis. Then traditional charkha we have. Then we have SKUAST, we have developed an innovative charkha and machine or ring spinning process. This is the takli. Simple. If you simply see, they have a thin spindle like here which pulls the fiber and a person rotates this on his hand. This is rotated or this is rotated or this way it rotates and the yarn comes. But yarn is very thick. Commonly adopted in tribal areas, uniformity of yarn is not there. There is no uniformity. More thick and thin places are there. Low count yarn, 40 counts is the maximum which we have recorded and seen, 40 counts. Whereas in case of Pashmina, we get 120, 160 counts also in our tradition. Same is in Nepal or other places who use takli, in Leh, 40 counts is the maximum they can get. Less quantity of yarn is obtained, heavy weight, non-uniform fabrics, no effect. Because there is more number of naps, thick and thin places, they never get a good dye. This is our old traditional method, which was since century, more than a century we are in Valley we are using. They have developed this charkha, a nice charkha. High count, very high count yarn we can develop from it. Good number of quantity was obtained. Dyeing is very effective for this because you have uniform. Whenever there is a uniformity, dyeing can be also taken. When we studied this long, about a decade back, we found that people are leaving it because they are getting less number of amount of remuneration, low efficiency, and there is physical stress. They used to get a lot of back pain, numbness in their legs, pain, or together sitting together for hours together, sitting in one place for spinning 5 grams of needle. Then we developed this innovative charkha. This is the tabletop model. आप लोगों को तो मेरे ख्याल में हर जगह आप चल रहा है ये, and we have got a patent for this also. Small spinning wheel is there. We used to have big spinning ball. They use the bigger the one. He used to said that the bigger charkha he traditionally usko ज़्यादा अच्छा quantity निकलती है. Here you have to use a very small spinning wheel, which is this is a small spinning wheel, and compared to other things, spindle there foot pedal. Normally they don't use it hand, they use foot pedals. Spindle sits comfortably on the chair, operates the charkha with her foot. More enumerative, meager. There are also seen quality, quantity, and quality. Quality-wise, it is seen. We have compared, and people have also maybe have now trusted and seen that quality-wise, it is almost same which we have traditional charkhas. Because I came many times, people say me that why you do not go for this power loom or a machine in this charkha, motorized. But if we add a motorized, then our traditional system will go out. Because we say it's a hand spin. The hand you cannot write. Then you have to write a machine spin. There also you have to add some amount of carrier, then only you can. In Himachal they have very small motorized charkhas, but they had to use a carrier. Without carrier they cannot use it, that gets otherwise damaged. This is we have compared quality wise. You can see almost double the quantity in the same time people can spin. More than that. This is the old exercise. Now you can see many more because at that time remuneration was very less. This is the quality parameters of hand and traditional and tabletop rotation. We have completed all textile characteristics. We have count, then we have breaking load, elongation, tensile strength, tenacity, every parameters we have taken into consideration. This is the patent in name of SKUAST. Then we have, you can see back, tracker back.
Small one, small.
Yeah. The art of basic art is how they place hand up and down. That is very critical. If they do not know hand picking it down, you cannot do it. One lady in Gojara told me that I had a leg problem. When I started spinning on this, I got cured for that. Because she used to get now exercise continuously on the legs because of this charkha. Previously, she used to sit on the idly on the ground. Now coming to the machine method. In machine spinning, ring spinning method, you have to first and foremost thing is that you are using any type of machine process. You have to use in any machine processing. The basic idea is pulling against each other. When you have to pull against each other, you need a strength. For strength, you have to use, because I told you in the beginning, that's why I told you, you should remember it, it's a mesocortical structure. It is not a paracortical structure. It doesn't have strength. So, to give additional strength, they add a nylon to it. We have tried PVA also, but PVA coming with the problem with PVA is that it does not dissolve completely, some amount of builds there. So, in machine process, they invariably use nylon. Nylon is used at high speed because that gives them the strength. Then spin on ring film, fabric prepared on power looms, fabric treated with HCl for dissolution of nylon. That's what. When we use any acid on a which is fragile fiber itself, what will happen? So I was told last time also. Then you have to use a softener. If you do not use softener, you will have it looks like a jute. Perhaps those who are making their own looms, they might have seen it. Its characteristic is just like a jute fabric, if you do not soften. Although it's an industrial type, but we lose our traditional ethic and traditional teach to the fabric when we use machine process. Here, another problem, another associated with this is that if you use machine, you can use less weight also. Very small weight, 50 grams shawl can also be weight. But machine in hand based and handloom based, you have to at least do 120 grams, 200 grams. For that gives another pyramid. But there will be a lot of gaps between the fibers when you remove the nylon. That gives the quality, very low quality. This is a physical quality, hand spun, warp wise and weft wise used for weaving hand pashmina. We have given quality parameters of hand spun, hand woven pashmina shawls. This is also hand spun woven pashmina shawls. Their drapability, you can see shrinking losses, negligible shrinking losses, abrasion losses, pickings, ends and picks, everything we have calculated, you can take it. This is strength, rigidity, elongation percentage, tensile strength. This is cyber Sarfaraz studies, how it's working, how it's showing the performance on the basis of the quality. This is a study where we have compared hand and machine spinning, how it happens. You can see this.
This is about
Dehair. See, this is manual dehair. This is a manually dehair fiber. This is a machine dehair. How much damage are there? See, this is simple by dehairing. If you now, this is the machine spun and hand spinning quality parameters we have given also previously also. Physical mechanical hand and machine spin pashmina yarn. Machine spin pashmina yarn, you can see twists are high, but count is low. Overall weight is also getting less. This is Himachal Pradesh, they were using Takli, Gandhi Charkha, British Charkha, PVA Pashmina, Nylon Pashmina. They have done, we have studied there what they are doing in Himachal also. Traditional looms. Shrinking loss, abrasion loss, some other characteristics. This is some of the parameters, handmade pashmina and this. This is same studies of hand spun, hand woven pashmina fibers. You can see how beautifully they are looking here. Here also. Although these damages are there, this is due to your dehairing. Now you can see the same machine process. How much damage is there? Pashmina fiber. You can see how much damage is there. In all fibers, everywhere there is a damage when we go for machine process. Every image there is a damage. Then another step which we have worked is warping. This is the traditional warping system where people use it to make two persons sit together, then they make warp together. And locally yin they were calling, and lot more energy and space was required for this, and too many persons were involved. A simple what they were doing, warp wise, warp mixing. Then we developed a simple idea, nothing, this is not a great idea, but a simple idea. We developed a small warping machine. This can be put in the room. They make it. These are the from where combs, yarns are put inside this. Then a simple yarns are coming from one side to the other side. 4 shawls can be, warp for 4 shawls can be made within 1 hour by single one person. This is brief. This is the weaving on. Then we have weaving techniques where I told there are weaving. Then when we go processing, we have to do traditional weaving methods. Then nowadays machine weaving methods. That these are the looms which normally we have. You all know about these looms. We put on the warp and weft together. Then a spindle is put from one side, other side. Warp is installed on the loom. Threads are being put in a horizontal direction in different designs. We can make, then another method of weaving is our Wani weaving. Here we have not make anything, only we gave them some designs, because this is a traditional and we want that this practice to continue. And I request all those who are working this, kindly don't use machine yarn for this, because people will be losing their everything. A person purchasing shawl for lakh rupees, you are just earning 3,000-4,000 rupees more, will spoil his whole wealth. This is known, and traditionally people are making it. This is one of the traditional Kani makers in Kani Hama. Maybe knowing them. Then power loom weaving has now come. People are using weaving on power loom. They use nylon as a carrier, both on warp and back side, and then remove it with more pilling. Less lifespan is here. This is the properties we have conducted. Hand spun, machine spun yarns on traditional and woolen looms. This is a traditional Pashmina shawl from hand spun, handmade. This is also from same, where people are first, you have to do purzagari, that you may be knowing. All these things they are doing. Embroidering is done, and then ironing is done. Now, another question is that we have Pashmina. There are some quality of Pashmina which is low quality, which does not normally go to the yarn. Where people make it that yarn make it. We are not coming here anywhere for knitwear, because knitwears are a very important part of the Pashmina. You might be seeing imported jackets coming, imported sweaters are coming. They specify. Why they are successful? They specify 30% Pashmina. They never say 100% Pashmina. You see any brand coming from the Europe, they clearly write the content. Kindly, if you use anywhere anything, kindly write the content in the label. If you write the content on the label, maybe we will lose the initial stage, because you will not get a good market for that. But once your brand will succeed with these admixtures and composite contents of it, you will surely succeed in your life. These are some of the products which are normally prepared from Pashmina. Here you have to use a carrier. The difference in knitwear and weaving is there in weaving. In knitwears and in weaving, you have to completely remove the carrier fibers. But in knitwear, you don't have to use it. That is there. The softness of fine Pashmina remains there. You use nylon, you use acrylic, whatever you use. You say, I have used 30% Pashmina, 20% wool, and 50% nylon. Nobody will sell you anything. That's permitted. But you label it. And in knitwears, you don't have to remove carry. You don't have to remove the acid content. That is the advantage. If you use knitwears, you can make gloves, you can make innerwears, you can make any type of fabrics out of that. We have also conducted some studies on knitwears, blended yarns. This is a blended yarn, 24 count, 36, 48 count. How they have blend compositions are there. And then length and Pashmina blended yarns. And this is study how thicks and thins are coming in for knitwear fabrics. This is another part, that's your fashion designers people, how they make it good, so make it look good. Tilla embroidery is also coming. Kalamkari is nowadays very famous. Ari is coming. This is value addition. Dyeing is another practice. Traditional dyeing, you use chemicals, and although that, if we say it's a natural fiber, it's very difficult to defend it. But some amount of chemical are to be various carriers are to be very good. We have developed some shades of different organic dyes. These are some materials we have used: onion, saffron flower waste, silver oak. Then we have mother, henna, tulip, walnut waste, and pomegranate waste we have used. Thank you very much. Now coming to the person that he was telling about the process of identification. If you have any questions for me, for that I can just answer. There is a method we have developed for DNA identification, but that needs to be authenticated. More and more people, I was talking to my colleagues there, they have already started working for that. But when we say about the label custom seizure method, the Government of India has fixed only one lab, that's what I tell you, that is Viral Laboratory Lab, Dehradun, which can see if you need seizure is there. That's why we have to pressure to them, to the Ministry of Home, which can modify it. Otherwise, even if we give whatever report we give, they may not accept it. But if we have any product which has been approved, processed through NABL lab, your product has been passed through NABL accredited lab, then nobody is normally seizing the products. Anywhere where there is an NABL seal on the product, nationally nobody is seizing it.
So, but in that case, again, enable accredited lab, if ours will be enable accredited lab in next few months, but still our.
Take a random sample.
One is I am not authorized to identify the samplers who are having some contraband fibers there. So it is authenticity is not there.
No, you authenticate this Pashmina. You cannot authenticate it is Shahpurana.
Although our lab will be having authenticity as far as their exporters are there, जिसमें हमको पश्मीना की हम बात करेंगे, our certificate will be there, जो कि वो अपने ट्रेड में उसको इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. और उसमें क्या होगा, उसमें ये इसकी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी कि कोई लीगल एक्शन होगी, because ours will be at that time enable accredited lab. But the thing is, question is that the gazette notification जिसकी हम बात कर रहे हैं कि only wildlife institute laboratory is authorized to give the testing.
Ministry of Textile is already taken up with the Home, Ministry of Home, and if they get it approved there, no, it's the ministerial level question. And trader, I have seen many of these people have gone already. The exporters are already in process of they have approved the minister also, and they have already written to the Ministry of Home. Each is between two ministries. You cannot use Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Home, and Textile. It is their duty. Common people cannot directly interfere in their activities.
सर वो आपने मगर यहाँ से हमें फिर we are again allowed up to 3% only guard here, so 30%, so वो हमें hand से pick करने पड़ते हैं.
नहीं, जो आप machine dearing करते हैं, there will be only 5% here guard here.
नहीं, मैं overall बात कर रहा हूँ कि when I got 100 grams of this Pashmina
raw, without deer,
it will have around
yes.
30%.
Fine, that is now processed through deherring machine.
He is once the Pashmina, we are getting 1 quintal of Pashmina, raw Pashmina. Once we put subject to deherring purpose, 30% gets lost as a guard here. 30% is lost as a guard here.
Maximum 20 to 25%. Fine.
नहीं 30 से minimum 30% निकलता है. ये depends on quality. A, B, C, D. If you say A grade A, there is grade A plus. If you have A plus grade, you get 30 to 40%. If you have D grade, you will get only 10 to 20%. But for that you have to do repeat it. Normally we go A grade Pashmina. डिहेरी में जाता है वो 30% से ज़्यादा ही निकलता है.
33%.
वही 33, 35.
Average 30K around here.
हाँ वही निकलता है.
So dust is there, sand.
Because see adulteration we have everywhere. They add when they dehere it, they put it on the sand. उनको क्या मिलता है? लगता है अगर 50 किलो में 1 किलो सैंड डाल दिया ना आपको तो वो रेत भी तो इसी पश्मीने के 3000 रुपए वो रेत के 1 किलो भी बेचते हैं. At the initial stages, they said them no, you have to put it, if you dehere it, if you harvest it, you remove it, keep it on the nylon bags, so that there is no admixture. Not only this jute bags are not allowed for keeping that deer. You have to keep normally we should polyester sheets are there.
Paper bags are not.
Bagged.
Then that tarpaulin, other things.
They are using it. People consciousness come, but adulteration is everywhere. You cannot stop. ये तो हमें आदत है. यहाँ क्या लोगों के जहन में ही आया है. हमें 1000 रुपये कमाना है ज़रा तो 1 किलो रेत उसने ज़्यादा डाल दी थी. 1 किलो 50 किलो में 2 किलो रेत डाल दी तो आप कहाँ से ढूंढेंगे? फिर आपको कांटे भी होते हैं उसमें. They think that we earn by that, but they don't earn normally. Normally उससे उनको ज़्यादा ही नुकसान होता है.
Moisture content increase करते
हाँ
हैं।
मॉइस्चर कंटेंट इंक्रीज करते हैं।
well आपने लिख कर अगर स्टेट में बैन किया तो इलीगल ट्रेड बढ़ेगा। फॉर एग्जांपल आपने बेटिंग बैन किया तो इलीगल ट्रेड बढ़ेगा। फॉर एग्जांपल इज दिस पार्ट ऑफ द कंट्री यहाँ पे शातुश बैन है तो ऑफ कोर्स इलीगल आई डोंट नो हाउ मच इलीगल ट्रेड है बट इट माइट बी हैपनिंग सर। तो व्हाट्स द अल्टरनेटिव मेथड की सर बिकॉज ऑन द फर्स्ट डे यू टोल्ड कि आपने 1986 से यू आर इनटू दिस सेगमेंट तो सर व्हाट आर योर व्यूज कि इसको एलिमिनेट किया जाए या फिर व्हाट आर योर व्यूज ऑन अप्लिफ्टिंग द बैन
On shatus. Now I told you last time that China has started farming of this shatus, the ibex. Same in Russia also. If the production side goes high, if availability of live good fiber is available in the market, then automatically it will go. And another best way is that we have to make people aware. Hey, bhai, what is coming for using anything illegal? And nobody allows permits. See, in any part of humanity, anything illegal is illegal. If you go trading of illegal, you are हमारे हिसाब से that bread and butter is also haram. So if you just give them notions what you are doing, you are making your children suffer because you are using a bad thing. Just by mixing some amount of fiber. Although I'm sure at present shatos is very rarely available as fiber because there is strict ban on availability. There may be some trade coming. I have not seen in Ladakh. I went to each and every corner of Leh. I did not find anywhere shatos. I think I have traveled for 5-7 years. I traveled. There's not a single border or single part of Leh which I have not seen. Shiru. I did not see any animal there. Neither I saw any such fiber available somewhere. It is coming through illegal trade in the valley. Maybe it's coming. How it is coming? Basically, you have to stop coming on the fiber here. If you stop coming on the fiber here, automatically it will go. Now people are coming. I told you, there are some people surplus those who have because. Human being is always intelligent enough. He wants to become mischievous. Always mischievous. I have seen one place they are using same guard hairs as Pashmina, but they are making very small snippets, and then sprinkle it over the fabric during spinning or during other things. They sprinkle it. With the result, when you get that fabric, it looks as if it's a shatos fabric. Because shatos fabrics normally you will have, वो कहते हैं ना कांटे हैं इसमें. This is characterized by the name of thorns. Like there is a god here which is just like a thorn. So that is illegal trade because he wants to give the feel that I am supplying you shatos, but when he has nothing, he is supplying you even machine processed pashmina. I have seen some consignments. One of the consignment was shown to me. He will not bleach the acrylic fabric. Simple acrylic. Few years back, one lady came to me that I had this is a rumal, exported rumal. I wanted to know what it is because I have received it in the name of shatos and other things. When we test it, simple chemical method. When we compare between nylon, synthetic fiber and animal fibers. A simple acid method. But we dissolve, this does not get dissolved, this gets completely dissolved. It was 100%. They have sprinkled some amount of these guard hairs over it and they were selling it in the name of shatos. It was simple and acrylic. This is the illegal trades. You cannot stop these illegal trades. But we have to make people aware. And we should, if we really want to make a good business and good brand, you should write the composition. You do machine processing, right? I am dying, this is a machine processed shop. In Lal Chowk, I saw a shop. I do not see much, I do not go to these Pashmina shops. Once I went to one of my person, I saw a trader. He has kept it outside his shop, this label. This is machine processed shawl, its cost is this much Pashmina. This is hand processed, this is this much. although he may be doing less business than the others. But those who come to his shop, they feel that this person is having a reliability. Because he is writing, he has kept it in his counter. All along his counter he has written clearly, 100% hand spun shawl costs this much. 100% machine process shawl, they are another thing. This is hand, this is weft is machine, warp is hand spun, and loom. He has this type of trade. He may be doing less business, but at least his consciousness is not getting spoiled. If you make trade like this, or if you use anything, you use blend composition, but write it. People are using wool as blending in this. Fine wool. Nowadays, बहुत ज़बरदस्त वो आया है super fine wool from Australia. They are using as blend with Pashmina. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.